Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's just me, TinieTashaa, or you can call me Tasha like everyone else does. So I've come on here today to just have a quick chat with you. If you're thinking about getting a buzz cut, or if you're not sure it'll suit you, or you have all these questions and you don't know who to talk to about it, and you've been thinking about it for a while but haven't gone and done it yet, I am here for you. So hi, hello, don't worry. I have created a pros and cons list of getting a buzz cut, and I thought I'd just chat you through how I found having a buzz cut and my buzz cut story, and we can sort of find whether getting a buzz cut is best for you. So hopefully this will be helpful for quite a few people, because I do get a lot of questions on my buzz cut and it is a very popular topic. So we'll definitely go and look at all the options and the answers to all the most common questions about a buzz cut. So let's start off with my buzz cut. So I got a buzz cut this time last year. There is a couple of videos that I have already done about my buzz cut. I've also done like a picture video of pictures of my buzz cut from last year and sort of reviewing them, so you can go and watch that video for anything to do with my buzz cut. But in a nutshell, I basically had a buzz cut from April 2019 and I grew it out starting from probably October, November 2019. So I had it for over 6 months, just 6 months, and it was amazing and it was the best thing I ever did. It really brought out the best in me and made me think of my insecurities and the things I didn't like about myself differently. I also became more confident as a person. I had nothing to hide behind. I wore what I wanted. I wore loads of makeup. It was great fun, and it was definitely an eye-opening experience, and it was just liberating. So I thought, why not share all that with you guys if you're thinking about it and you've got these questions and queries as to why you haven't done it yet. So I thought I'd play this as like, let's get the bad news out of the way first and then we can focus on all the good stuff. So I'm going to start off with the cons. So the bad things about having a buzz cut, and like I said, this video is completely honest, so I'm going to sort of tell you everything I found being a person with a buzz cut for 6 months, how I felt, what it was like for me. And this is coming from me, honestly. So probably the first con, I would say, is that if you do decide to dye your buzz cut, which a lot of people do, they either bleach it or go crazy colours or whatever. If you want a stable colour that you can keep for a long time, you do have to keep dyeing your hair after you cut it, if that makes sense. So every time you cut it, you're going to have a root, and because your hair is so short, you've basically chopped out all of the colour that you've just done. So I've sort of noticed that I'd have to dye my hair once a month. I'd get it cut every 3 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how short I was. And then the following week, after I got the trim, I would then dye my hair. So it was constantly that process of getting it cut, dyeing it, getting it cut, dyeing it, and you'd only really have 1 or 2 weeks in between before you then have to go back to the barbers and then dye it again. So it is something you do really have to keep up with. Like, a lot of people always say it must be so easy not having any hair. In some senses it is, but also in the other senses that I constantly have to buzz it myself or go to the barbers, and then I constantly have to keep dyeing it. So that, I guess, is a con, just because it could, if you don't dye your hair from home and if you don't cut it from home, you could end up racking up spending a lot of money on your hair every month. So that might just be something to be aware of, whether it means that you learn to dye your hair yourself. I have done a video on how to bleach your hair from home as well, so that might help you. Also, maybe going to a barber's rather than a salon to get your hair cut, just because barbers are so much cheaper and they work better with shorter hair than usually some salons do. And then also whether you just want to buzz it yourself is another option to save the money there. So although that is a con, there are ways around it to make it a pro. So it's not really a be-all and end-all con. The next con is sort of the seasons you decide to have a buzz cut, because if you have a buzz cut in summer, obviously you're made, you don't have to worry about like sweaty hair, like it going all curly or wavy because it's hot and the humidity. But if you get a buzz cut and it's cold, in the winter especially, you really feel it. Like, that is why I grew my buzz cut out, because it got to the winter and I had a long commute and I was just freezing, like the back of my head and my ears so cold, and I don't suit hats very well, so I didn't feel like I could just shove on a beanie and forget about it. If you do suit hats, then I've just made that con a pro. So and then probably the only other con I could think of, and I thought about this for a while, was the shit that you get for being a woman and having a buzz cut. And I'm gonna put it out there and I'm gonna be honest about it, because it happens. Society is not ready for it yet, it still isn't. And you know, women have been very liberated and free speaking for a very long time, and this is still an issue. So I thought I'd just put it out there. You do get a lot of foul shit from people, and it's only because that they're uncomfortable with how confident you are. It's got nothing to do with you. So I thought I would just touch on it, because I did find it quite a problem when I had a buzz cut. I got a lot of shit from people, more so in person than online or on social media. I'd be at the train station catching the train, or I'd be out on a night out, and it would usually be men who would comment on my hair, whether it would be, you're a lesbian, you must be a lesbian, I have more hair than you, you'd look so much better with hair is another one, you'd be hot with hair. You know, all of these comments get thrown your way. And I've also had a couple of times, sorry, are you ill? Like, have you got the C word? Have you got the C word? And it's just like, people are unbelievable, and there are people out there who don't give a shit about your personal feelings and will say what's on their mind. And eventually, I'm turning this into a con again. You do either get used to it or you do stand up for yourself and say something. I most definitely did. I became a gobshite when I had a buzz cut. I didn't give a shit. I told people when they were being rude and horrible, and you do get used to it, as horrible as that is, you do. And it is just a part of having a buzz cut that you just need to be aware of and accept, until the rest of the world and society are okay with it. That is me being honest. Regardless of that, I have never, and this is now sort of going into the pros, but I've never been in a community that is so full of lovely and positive and beautiful people than the buzz cut and cropped hair community. It's incredible. My following on Instagram shot up when I buzzed my hair. It didn't decrease. So the amount of people that followed me for the fact that I was different and loved me because I was different was more than the people that actually were rude and didn't like it. So although you do get the foul shit from random strangers, if you flip that on its back and you look at it as a positive, because that is by far a bigger way of looking at it, because there are so many more people that are going to be there for you and appreciate you and respect you for being different and for being your true self. And for me, that's why I love having short hair as well as feeling badass. It suits me and I fucking rock it. But the people that support you and are excited for your new haircut and your new colour and on social media is amazing for that. So moving on to the pros, to get into the good side, and trust me, there's a lot more pros than there are cons. So first pro, which for me was a godsend, was that you don't need to wash it. I mean, very much. But I had bleach hair and I only shampooed it like once a week. I literally never, ever. And you don't have to worry about it, because you literally towel dry it and you get out of the shower and you're done. You don't have to do any styling, you don't need to do anything. So that for me is top-notch pro right there. Then, just coming off of that, the second pro is that you don't need to buy loads of hair care products and heat sprays and straighteners and curlers and and all of that stuff. You don't need to worry, because you've got no hair, so you don't need any of it. You're saving so much money on that crap, I can tell you now. Pro number 3, I did sort of touch on this already, but you can cut your own hair. Or you can go to the barbers and get it cut for like a £5. Hello, no more salon appointments where you got to wait in a boring old queue with all these bitchy ladies, then pay like 50 quid, 60 odd quid to get that much taken off of your hair. Nah, don't need it. Absolutely not. Chop it off. Waste of money. Pro number 4 is that you can dye your hair crazy colours because it only lasts 2 weeks. I went through so many colours when I had a buzz cut. I was orange, I went pink, I went purple. There is no stopping you, and it comes out straight away. It just literally washes out, or you buzz it out, and then you could get to do another crazy colour. Like if you're someone that wants to experiment with their hair and wants to go fun colours and stuff like that, getting a buzz cut is like the best answer, because not only do you get to see what you look like with very minimal hair, and you start to notice how beautiful your face is, because trust me, your face is beautiful and you will look amazing with a buzz cut, but then also you can experiment with what colours suit you and stuff like that, so that if you do eventually, which I don't think you will, grow your hair out, you already know what every colour under the sun looks like, and you can actually commit to dyeing all of your hair one colour. And that is one thing that I think is difficult for people with long hair, because even taking that much off is so stressful for them because it takes them so long to grow it, which I totally understand, but they don't get to play around with colour either, because if they don't like it, that's a lot of hair to try and fix, and you have to go to the salon, like I said, and pay a fortune to get it fixed. No brainer, why would you do that? Plus you can damage it all and then you've got to cut it all off anyway. Don't get me started. Okay, so the 5th pro for getting your buzz cut is how amazing you feel as a person after you do it. Like, you feel so liberated, you feel so free. You become carefree because all of a sudden you've got nothing to worry about. If you were ever self-conscious about your face or a part of your body that makes you uncomfortable that your hair used to hide, you can't anymore. It's out there in the open, and you have to accept yourself for who you are, because everyone is going to see it. And guaranteed no one will notice what you were worried about, because they're so concerned at how beautiful you look and how amazing you look with no hair that they don't notice the things that you're uncomfortable about. And I witnessed that firsthand. As you can probably see, I have one ear that sticks out, right? This one. And I'm a model, and I've always been very self-conscious of this ear, and for a very long time I've wanted to pin it back, get it pinned back, and I've only recently decided that I'm not going to do that, because it's something that makes me unique and makes me me. And when I first wanted to ever cut my hair short, it was the one thing that was holding me back, to the point of that I got my hair cut short but had it longer. I'll actually get a picture and put it here. I got it longer so that it would cover my ear, because I was so self-conscious about having one ear that sticks out. Guarantee now, I've told you about it, you've noticed it, but before that you probably didn't even notice it, because it's just a part of who I am, that it doesn't instantly become a fault to you, it's just me. And I feel like that's the difference. Everyone thinks the things they don't like about them is a fault, but really it just makes you who you are, and that is how other people recognise you. So you need to stop thinking of those things you dislike about yourself as a bad thing, because once you cut your hair off, it's out there anyway, so you might as well love it. You might as well accept that. And trust me, as soon as you accept those things that you're uncomfortable about, you'll automatically not give a shit. And not giving a shit is the best thing in the world, because people realise that they can't upset you, they can't put you down, and they can't piss you off because you don't give a shit anyway. So you're walking around not giving shit, looking badass. I don't see a problem with that at all. And also, if you're concerned about the shape of your head, that's actually one of the main reasons a lot of people don't shave their head, is because they're concerned that their head shape isn't right. You are not a Barbie doll, and your hair grows back. You can't go to a barber's or to a hairdresser's and say, can you just touch my head, because I don't think I've actually got the right shape, head shape. No one knows, no one knows. You're just gonna have to grow some balls, cut it off, and if it doesn't look right, grow it out. And the video I've done actually about my buzz cut, it shows you the stages of how I grew out my buzz too. So if you're really that worried about it, watch that video and it will show you how I grew out my buzz. Because trust me, you are gonna look amazing, and there is no such thing as a terrible head shape for a buzz cut, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be carrying it, and if you're confident and badass and love it, no one's gonna notice your head shape. Trust me. Ran over. And then the last one, so that's number 6 on the pros list, but I pretty much made everything I've spoken about a pro, is the community that comes, which I have already touched upon with getting a buzz cut. They are so supportive. I now have so many friends that I consider friends, because I speak to them so often, all over the world, because this community brought us together. And I think it is so important, because especially when you go out in person, maybe you live in like a small village or a small city where everyone looks the same, and then you all of a sudden look very different, you're gonna get a lot of people staring at you. You're gonna get a lot of gobby shites coming up to you and telling their opinion that you really don't care about. But as soon as you realise how many hundreds of thousands of people in the world look just as badass as you do, what does it matter? Not only do you feel amazing, you have support from other people across the world who are also in this community and going through the same shit you are, so you are never alone. It's people that can't deal with the fact that you're comfortable with who you are. Because trust me, there's not a lot of people who are comfortable with who they are. I'm only just becoming comfortable with who I am, and I'm still really fucking struggling with it. I do still have bad days where I'm like, why do I have to be so different and awkward? Why can't I just blend in? You know, we all have that. It's normal, but it shouldn't stop you from doing something that makes you even more of an individual. It should never stop you from doing that, ever. If anything, it should spur you on, and that's what it did for me. And I think that's why I then grew the balls and got my buzz cut, because I loved the idea of being so different I shock people. And since then, I always try and be more and more different and more confident and loud, because it's so much fun watching people's faces and people being uncomfortable. It's amazing. It's amazing, and more people should feel that confident and that comfortable in themselves. This has sort of turned into me getting bored of my own voice sort of YouTube video, so I'm so sorry about that, but I really hope that's enlightened you and made you think differently about getting a buzz cut. I actually really enjoyed filming this. So thank you so much guys for watching it, and if any of you guys do end up shaving your head, and if I was of any help to you whatsoever, please let me know. Please send me pictures of your befores and afters. It will give me so much life knowing that I'm helping people. If you have anything to ask at all, add it into the comments box of this video and I will get back to you. So also, if you love this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you want any more hair chatty videos, I can 100% do that. If you've got any ideas for videos that you really want to see as well that I haven't already touched upon, please write them down in the comments and I can 100% look at doing a video for that. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please go and subscribe now. The button is literally down there. Thanks so much guys, and I'll see you soon.